Alrighty, what is up baby bunnies, it is me, Killer Bunny here, and today we're going to do something pretty unique. I'm actually testing out this new system, and hopefully this actually kind of works out, because I'm actually really excited to do stuff like this for you guys. So what we're going to do today is we are going to be reading a fan fiction that I actually wrote. It's a Satellite City fan fiction. If you don't know, I think his username, I think how you say it is Fenna. He's a great animator. It's fantastic. I love the story. So I kind of wanted to do my own little spin on it, and you don't see a lot of fan fiction of these guys out there, and it's really cool. So let's get into it. This is Welcome to the Family, a Satellite City fan fiction. Chapter 1, Nightmares. Tiny me ran through the trees, a large smile on my small pale face. My bare feet hit the damp earth, small quiet giggles escaping me. My bright green eyes flashed as I looked behind me, seeing the creature chasing me. He wore a pair of slacks and worn brown trench coat, a hat covering his face, as he seemed to sharply move towards me. Looking up, his face came into view. A large grin was spread across his face. Two smaller versions of his mouth sat where his eyes should have been. I looked forward again as fast as I could, knowing he was gaining on me. I felt strong arms wrap around me. I let out a yelp of surprise as I was lifted into the air. "Gotcha," he said sweetly, holding me to his face. "No fair, Fontaine," I said out of breath. His smile widened as he set me down. "Don't be like that. You had a good pace the whole time. Wore me out, sweetheart." I can't do the voices, by the way, so I apologize now. He sets me down, looking down at me. He was quite a bit bigger than me. I could easily be a doll to him. I looked at him, my smile slowly fading. Why doesn't Ludwig play with us anymore?" I said sadly. Fontaine's face dropped at my question. He kneels down to be as eye level with me as possible. He smiles, but I can see through the facade. He wishes he could, love. He's very busy with his work, but always asks about you. I nod sadly. "He wanted me to give you something," Fontaine said, reaching into a pocket of his coat. He pulled out a necklace with a long, sharp, glossy tooth on a long chain. It gleamed as the sun hit it, giving it a beautiful look. Fontaine slid the chain over my head, the tooth falling to my upper abdomen. I looked down and smiled at the gift. "Tell him thank you for me," I say, looking up. Fontaine looked behind me, a look of worry in his expression. I looked over to see a dark shadow with glowing red eyes staring at us. With a flash, the figure was inches from us. I feel my body being lifted in the air. Then with heavy force, I was sailing through the air. I hear Fontaine yell, followed by a sickening crack. They're falling off. Somehow, I managed to look up. Fontaine lay on the ground, feet away from me. The dark figure moves into my view before I hear my own shrill scream. I spring from my position in bed, cold sweat clinging to my body. I look down to see my necklace still around my neck. These nightmares have haunted me for years. I don't know why, but they don't feel like dreams. At least not all the time. The creatures in the dreams appear often. Fontaine I can recall clearly, but Ludwig I rarely saw in my dreams. I've moved my legs to the side of the bed, feeling my muscles creak as I do so. I usually felt pain after an intense dream like that. I look over at the clock at my bedside table, 6 a.m. I grab my phone, sending a quick text to my friend Sullivan. Gypsy. "Hey man, I had the dream again." Frowny face. I didn't expect him to answer. He always seems to be doing something. I didn't mind though. It gave some relief to know that I let someone know what's going on. I forced myself to get up and get ready for the day. I changed into a pair of black ripped jeans and a large gray shirt. My dark red hair didn't require much work. The sides of my head were shaved, and I left the top long to reach my shoulder blades. I pulled it into a ponytail and slipped my flats on. With a sigh, I walked out to the small home, out in the cold morning air. So there you go, guys. First chapter.